retirement isn't just about financial preparedness. It's a new transition, it's a new stage of life that you need to prepare for. What I would like you to do is to do your best to prepare and to test out what retirement is going to be like before you turn in your resignation. There are 5 test drives that I would like my clients to do at least 2 years prior to retirement. It allows them to transition into retirement more successfully. And the reason why I want them to do this 2 years prior to retirement is that gives them time to course correct in case their idea of retirement doesn't actually match their personality or who they are. We call this the budget test drive. Then there's the identity test drive, your location test drive, your activity test drive, and your connection test drive. Doing all of these 5 tests will allow you to experience what retirement is like without the risk of jumping in and figuring out that it's miserable. In today's video, we'll focus on your identity test drive and figuring out what it's like and who you're going to be when you retire. Last week, we talked about the budget and how you could live off of those dollars. But today is all going to focus on you and your life. Retirement test drive number 2, the identity test drive. Who are you when you're not working? For years, our identity, our personality has been linked with our profession. I still go out there calling myself a financial planner and people turn around and say, is that the same thing as a stockbroker? And then I go in this tirade of explaining why it's different. So I get just how defensive and how attached we can be to our work identity, right? Maybe you're saying, I'm an engineer, I'm a teacher, I'm a principal. But that leads to a very important question as you're approaching retirement. Who are you beyond your job description? Who are you when you're no longer working? This is important to address before you retire. Maybe 2 or 3 years before you retire, because if our identity is so heavily linked with what we do, I've seen this lead to, dare I say, depression. When retirees finally finish their jobs, they celebrate for a few weeks, all of a sudden the honeymoon phase of retirement is done and they're sad. So I want you to address this now. And the very first step for this test drive is just quiet introspection. Think beyond your job title. Have you always been a planner amongst your friends, the caregiver, the storyteller? Think about that and look ahead. Embrace new roles. Maybe there's new family roles. I have clients who really wish to just be full-time grandparents. They relish the idea that they just get to help their grandkids, take them to school, pick them up, take them to activities. And that's how they want to build their life. They want to plan activities day in or day out around these special traditions between their grandchildren. Maybe you have community roles as well that you want to fulfill. Maybe you want to be a mentor or maybe a gardener for the community garden, a community organizer, right? These roles in local clubs or groups or associations may bring more meaning to you. Another idea is to look at deferred passions. Maybe there's a hobby that you've always said that you'd pick up once you have the time. Now there's going to be time, whether that's pottery, writing, hiking. Immerse yourself in these activities right now. And actually, we'll talk about that as another test. But once you've gone through these thought exercises, document and consider this. Maybe it starts with just saying, hey, I am a grandma. Keep a journal of this transition and note down your feelings, the roles that you're enjoying and the ones that you're still figuring out. Once you've done that kind of on your own, and or maybe internally if you have a partner, engage in conversations. Talk to fellow retirees or friends about their post-retirement identity. Share yours. Share what you're thinking about. These conversations can be insightful and affirming. The outcome of the test drive is simple. This journey should help you get a clear picture of your identity outside of work. Retirement offers a canvas to paint a new picture of yourself, one that's not confined by 9-to-5 routines, but instead it's defined by passions, relationships, and personal growth. So here are my final thoughts about this test. Finding your identity beyond your work isn't about replacing one title with another. It's about understanding just how complex or how multifaceted you are as an individual. You're filled with dreams, aspirations, roles, and passions beyond your professional sphere. Remember the joy and anticipation of saying, when I grow up, in your younger days? Now is the time to relive that sentiment. Now that I'm grown up and I'm free to be, who do you want to be? As a financial guide, I'm not just here to assist clients with numbers, but here to support them in this beautiful journey of self-discovery. So I urge you to embrace this new chapter and new roles with joy and enthusiasm. It doesn't need to be scary, especially if you have time before you actually have to pull the trigger. So that's it for the identity test drive. Last week, we talked about the financial or the budget test drive. If you watch that and go through it, you might find out that you can actually retire sooner. Or you could find out that your budget is too lean and it's not enjoyable enough for you. That will lead you to decide whether you're going to reduce your estate or whether or not you're going to delay or defer retirement so that you can save a little bit more. So watch that in the links right now, or we have other useful videos about retirement planning. You can check them all out. There's a playlist below. Next week, we'll go through the location test drive, where your ideal retirement place is going to be your new home, whether that's the same place that you're staying in right now, or if you're thinking about relocating, there's tidbits that you need to understand before you sell your home and you move to that next paradise. See you in the next video.